Hi buddies! I got some bad news today about a friend of mine that I love very much, and I'm not feeling so great. So I wasn't gonna film anything, and then I thought, what makes me feel better than snail mail? So I have a little stack here that I'm gonna open, and we're gonna do a little snail mail therapy today. This stack seems to be coming with a theme. So this first two postcards I read because they're postcards, so how could I wait? But they're possibly the first ever postcard with postcard follow-up that came one day apart. Who is it? Oh gosh, not this again. Who is it that keeps track of all of the world records? Yell at the screen and I'll hear you. Oh yeah, that's it. Anyways, we'll have to call them to verify, but this might be the first ever. It says, "You're so cool, I'm not even mad about it." And then it says, "Okay, I'm lying. I am pissed. Yeah, go ahead, let that sink in. How could you let someone use a weapon of mass affection that you designed against me? I've been such a loyal fan. This is not the last you'll hear from me, or probably us for that matter." And then in tiny, tiny letters it says, thank you a lot. Still magically, Jay." And I read that, and then the next day this one came. When good cats do bad things, and it says, "Yo, Snail Mail Superstar. I realized that maybe I forgot to add a definite JK indicator on that last postcard, but hopefully that came through or something. My bad. I do wish to say thank you for the Fountain Pens 101 class. It's given me the confidence to use a pen I've been afraid to use for over a decade. Meow. Thank you, magically, Jay." So I did get the sarcasm font that you had going on, but also the follow-up postcard really made my day. So thank you for both. And then I got this cat-related postcard here, which I really wanted to read, but I have not read yet because I was trying to be good. Incredible postage. It says, "I wanted to share my adventure of textile hunting in Osaka and Kyoto with you. Of course, I had to write it on a cat postcard from one of the many stationery shops I've visited. Although after seeing your post, I can't just indulge looking. Just a card is easy to do here. I started at Atlier I can't say that, I'm sorry. If you'd like to follow up and give me a pronunciation guide, I will attach it here. My all-time fave textile designer. I will type it in the description box so that you know who this person's favorite textile designer is, because you probably want to know that. She paints the most lovely fabric. The patterns make my heart flutter. I settled on a dark indigo fabric. Not sure what it'll be, but it comes from her series called Mercy, in which she describes flowers as being the manifestation of thank you. It's really beautiful. She writes a poem for every series. Next to Walnut storefront to Japanese knitting designers Amirisu. They just released a new line of yarn, a super soft cotton linen silk blend, and I picked up a skein for summer knitting." It says, "P.S. Thanks for the letter writing inspiration." And I'm trying to read loose. There we go. I'm a hot mess. This is gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that with me. I haven't gotten to go to Japan yet. It's a place that I very much want to go because I've heard that the stationery stores are out of this world. And so thank you for bringing me along on your travels. That was really sweet. All right, this one is very sparkly. Hey there, Sarah with no H. Thank you for noticing. It was great to get your letter. I totally dig the new stationery, but man, that is some thick paper. I know. I have an attachment to very thick paper. It's because I'm a letterpress printer. I can't get past it. I should. You are correct. I should write on thinner paper so it's not as expensive to mail. I'll take that under advisement. It says, "Have you ever tried printing on Tomo River?" I have not tried it, but I should, because I keep hearing fountain pen people talk about it, so I should definitely look into it. Probably too thin, huh? But oh, how fun it is to write on. Nevertheless, your new stuff feels soft. I like it and love the smart ass quote. Thank you. Thanks for the Barron's #1 print. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm part of a wood engravers group, and I get, I I'm lapsed, a terrible wood engraver, but I was part of I would get a bundle of prints, and so I have this little stash of beautiful wood engravings that I've been trying to send in some of my letters to spread them out into the world so that more people can enjoy them, because I tend to be a paper hoarder. It says, my brain always breaks whenever I've tried to do any negative relief work. I always goof it up halfway through. We all do in some way. Every single engraving I've ever done has some, I think it's glaring, but some glaring mistake that no one ever notices, but I see it, and I'm like, oh, if only it was perfect. It says, did I tell you I feel so special getting some of your Chivo Emerald? I love the whole 1670 series, always good. I'm using it on everything, I'm obsessed. I've got the Storm Gray and whatever they call the red one, very techie Momo. Now, you may ask yourself, what mad glorious ink is this? I was asking myself that. It is so pretty. I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up well, but in real life, it is so pretty. It says, just me playing around. I added some Pearl X to some Noodler's Apache Sunset. Ooh, custom. Fun for sure, but the feed will need some cleaning. Love every couple of days, but that's part of the fun. The pen is I cannot pronounce words today. That'll be the theme of this video. Karuskutom. Kara's Custom is probably with a semi-flex Bach titanium nib. Wet enough to let the particulate through. So there you go. Congrats on your new subscriber count growing. Thank you all. And looking forward to seeing your response to the disco mirror ball. Your snail mail pal, David. Basically, the mirror ball is because my Heidelberg windmill is from 1970. It's like one of the later models. And I thought it was really funny that most of my presses were from the 1920s and before. I've got one from like 1895. But that this press was from 1970 just tickled me. So I decided it needed a disco ball because of course it did. This one's from Canada, which is very fancy. And apparently the post office lately has been getting lazy about canceling stamps. So I keep getting these beautiful uncanceled stamps. Thank you. I love the loons. Some of my favorite people live in Canada, so I have a real soft spot for the Great White North. I've been thinking about trying to drag my husband with me to Vancouver to go to the Muji store there. So if I do that, be sure there will be a video because that place is magic. Wow. These are really beautiful. Oh man, you guys are the best. Dear Sarah, as I said on a comment on one of your videos, it was great to run across your channel. I've been looking for more people to write to as I am in the middle of a 200 personal letter project this year. It's ambitious. I don't have any fancy stationery, although from a fountain pen perspective, I love writing on Tomo River paper. That is 2 Tomo shoutouts in one video, which is impressive. So I'm gonna have to run out and buy some of that right away. It is very nice and thin. I like it. My other hobby is photography with vintage film cameras. It's awesome. So I live in Toronto. Oh, that's where all my favorite people live. Congratulations. But I work in Alberta quite a bit. One image is a bridge in Calgary and the other is Banff National Park in the Canadian Rockies. Both images were shot on black and white film, which I processed myself. Oh my gosh. Kindred spirit here. That was one of the things I loved most in high school is I had a teacher, a science teacher, who set up a dark room in the little office between 2 classrooms. And I spent a lot of awkward introvert after school afternoons processing my own film, and I was terrible at it. And I was also in a really, I don't know, it was a weird, I've always been weird, I'm still weird, but I was in a phase where I liked to spend time in this really old cemetery by my house. There wasn't a lot of public green space in my town, and what there was usually filled with a lot of tourists, because I grew up in Florida, so I wasn't a beach person. I'm more on the goth kid side. So anyways, I found a really quiet spot in this beautiful cemetery, and so I took a lot of photos there of different things that caught my fancy, and those were the kind of photos that I was developing in this little tiny dark room. And the photos came out weird, and I could never decide if I was bad at processing photos or if I was capturing something interesting. So I'll have to hunt those down and maybe send you one of them. It was a weird time in my life, but I look on it fondly. says, your video on journaling as a way of dealing with depression really resonated with me. I am in the same kind of situation, and journaling is an integral part of how I deal with things. I liked your description of your journaling as letters you write to yourself. That description makes a lot of sense. I will wrap this letter up now. I hope you have been able to decipher my writing. Your writing is beautiful. I love writing with fountain pens such as the TWSBI Eco. They don't magically fix my handwriting. Never judge your handwriting. Certainly not when you're writing to me. Good luck with the store and your YouTube channel, and thanks for helping keep snail mail and letter writing alive. Best regards, John. Thank you for writing to me, John. I'm going to wrap this video up here. I have 2 more to open, but I'm just going to split this into 2 because gosh knows these get really long, and goodness knows why you guys like to watch them. I guess you just love snail mail as much as I do and are incredibly delightful people who are patient with me. So I love you and thank you. So if you see me in another video in the same lighting wearing the same thing in like 5 seconds, that's what's happening. Okay, break.